So the Miami Heat are looking to move Duncan Robinson as soon as the July 8th cutoff, when his contract becomes fully guaranteed. Can Lauri Markkanen be the answer that the Miami Heat is looking for in a potential trade? All that and more in another episode of Miami Heat Talk, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get all your boys' updates as we push to 7,000 subscribers. Now, hit that intro.
That is enough said.
Happy Friday, Miami Heat Nation. Your boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. It's Friday, got the extra pep in my step, you guys, and I am ready to talk Miami Heat basketball. So let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. First and foremost, guys, I'm sure y'all saw that game last night in the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton is a beast. Wow, what a game, man. Love the underdogs, Indiana. I'm rooting for y'all. Get this one. Anyways, but we talking Miami Heat basketball, you guys, because there was a report that came out from Evan Sittery. He is one of the highest ranked NBA inside reporters out there, and he reported a whopper today that involved the Miami Heat. Per Evan Sittery's Twitter feed, he reports that the Miami Heat are looking to trade Duncan Robinson's $19.8 million expiring contract. Miami or another team acquiring Duncan Robinson's partially guaranteed contract could waive him by July 8th to save $10 million. If Miami decides to chase a star, Robinson's contract helps out a lot too. End quote. Now, I will say this. I'm rocking the Duncan Robinson jersey, y'all. Check it out. I love Duncan Robinson. He my boy. I've been supporting Duncan since he's been on this team. I remember when he first started here and broke out in 2019, I was calling him Baby Dunk. He has spent seven seasons with the Miami Heat. 2020 season, he broke out, had a few good years. Whomped in the 2023 season, but he did have a great showing in the playoffs. But the last two seasons, you guys, Duncan has been super consistent. This past season, he averaged 11 points, averaging, 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 39% from the three, 43% from the field, 88% from the free throw line. Solid numbers. Duncan Robinson has been a level of consistency. I know he kind of flopped after he got that big contract, but he stepped up. Now, when he took that leap in the 2023 playoffs, you guys, I thought that Duncan was evolving and he was getting better. But honestly, this is the best that you're getting from Duncan. And you know what you're getting with Duncan Robinson. He's a sniper three-point shooter. He's going to average anywhere from 37 to 40% from three through the year. But that's really all you get with Duncan. He's also 31 years old. Look, I love this Miami Heat build, and the great thing about teams that last this long, you get a special connection with them. We have a connection with Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. They've been on this roster now for the last 6 years. They've been together, but builds end, and it's time to move on sometimes. And Duncan Robinson, his contract wasn't looking good a few years ago. Now it's a sweetie of a contract. Because if if Duncan Robinson is traded to another team and they release his contract by July 8th, before then, they're only going to have to pay him about $9 million. Because his contract is partially guaranteed. So this is why all these trades I've been talking about lately, I've been including Duncan Robinson's name there, simply because it's a great package. It's great for the team. And with the whole new collective bargaining agreement with the first and the second apron, teams are literally watching what they spend by the millions. $1 to $2 million can make or break a team. $1 or $2 million could put you above the second apron, but it can also keep you below the second apron. So teams are going to be looking at that. And one team that's looking to make some moves, you guys, is the Utah Jazz. There's been a lot of reports, especially that's been coming up lately, you guys, that the Jazz are looking to move Lauri Markkanen. There's a lot of different reports, but there was a reporter from Utah Sun, Jesse Kinsini. He's a reporter with Utah. He actually put a report talking about the potential of Lauri Markkanen being traded to the Miami Heat. And I know we talked about this in the past, you guys, but we're going to be doing this all off season long until the Miami Heat either get their guy, decide to run it back, or blow it up. That's what we're going to be doing this offseason. And I can't wait for the NBA Finals to finish, because once it's done, we're going to know what we're going to be doing with the draft and free agency. But Lauri Markkanen, you guys, I mean, had a solid season, only played 47 games. I know Utah was trying to tank. I get that. But if they're trying to tank, that means they're going to let this guy go. But in 47 games, he gives you 19 points, 6 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He shoots 42% from the field, 35% from threes, and 87% from the field. Now, here's the thing about Lauri Markkanen. The 2 seasons before that, he was doing way better. Having all-star years, he was averaging 23 and 25 points a game, about 8 rebounds, averaging almost 40% from the three-point line. So he had a down year. This may be good for the Miami Heat, because Utah, it's rebuild time again. I feel like Utah is like always constantly rebuilding, but they gave this guy a big contract a year ago, so you know they're gonna get off. They're gonna try to get off that contract. You know Danny Ainge loves him some draft capital picks. So sure, this could definitely work. And the trade that the reporter posted, I think, is something that can work for both sides. The Miami Heat can get Lauri Markkanen. Utah, in return, would receive Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier's expiring contract. Take him. Nikola Jovic, and I'm sorry, guys, I know Nikola Jovic is getting a lot of hate because his name is being involved in a lot of trade talks, but the reason why I mentioned Nikola Jovic over Jaime Jaquez is because Jovic and Markkanen basically play the same position, so you're swapping them out with someone way younger and someone you can build on. I think Jovic is a great fit in Utah. He can get a lot of minutes. He can finally ascend and become, the player that he wants to be. And then also, you include 2 first-round draft picks. You include the 20th pick and the 2030 first-round draft pick, which would be top 5 protected. I think that's a solid trade. I think it doesn't hurt the Heat. Yes, you're losing Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, and Nikola Jovic. You're gaining Lauri Markkanen. The contracts are a little better for the Heat. We're sending out more money than we're taking in. So this puts us even lower under the first apron, which unlocks that $14 million mid-level exception. So now you can get another player. Now you'll have a starting lineup of Davion Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Lauri Markkanen, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware. I know defensively that's not the best lineup, but in the NBA, it's all about offense now. You need guys that can score, and Lauri Markkanen can score. Lauri Markkanen, guys, he's a power forward center, but he's so small, you can maybe even put him in the small forward position. He's 7 foot, he's 240 pounds. He's a little bit taller than Jovic, same size. So even though he's a power forward, you could slide him in the small forward position. Maybe you can start Bam and Lauri Markkanen, have Kel'el Ware come off the bench. It gives you more flexibility, but you could start Bam Adebayo, Lauri Markkanen, Kel'el Ware. With Tyler Hero and Davion Mitchell, Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo, they're your defensive presence. Davion Mitchell is a beast defensively, and you have Lauri Markkanen and Tyler Hero as your primary scorers. I think Tyler can give you 24, 25 points a game. Markkanen can give you 20, and there you go. Is that a championship team, though? They might contend, especially in a weak Eastern Conference, but does it beat the teams in the West? Probably not. So I like Lauri Markkanen, you guys, but I don't think I like him as much as Kevin Durant. I think if you have an option between Lauri Markkanen and Kevin Durant, I would go Kevin Durant. Why? Kevin Durant's contract's expiring. Lauri Markkanen has 3 more years left in this contract, and it's a max contract. So now you're stuck with this roster if you trade for Markkanen. At least if you trade for Kevin Durant, you got a shot for 1 year, and if it doesn't work, you have flexibility after 2026. But for the trade package, I think it works. This offseason, man, I want to see the Miami Heat make a trade, and I want the trade package to be involving Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, maybe Nikola Jovic or Jaime Jaquez Jr., and some first-round draft picks. If you can make a trade like that and get yourself a Kevin Durant, a Lauri Markkanen, a Zion Williamson, maybe not have to give up multiple first-round draft picks, maybe just one, maybe none at all, I'd be willing to do that. Because you're giving, especially with the new aprons, you guys, you're giving the teams flexibility. You're giving them expiring contracts, a young asset, and the draft capital. That's very valuable in today's market. I understand how people may think, oh, that trade won't happen, it's stupid. It's the new NBA, you guys. The days now where you do an Anthony Davis trade that the Lakers did, giving up 4 amazing players with a bunch of draft picks, it just doesn't work like that anymore. The new collective bargaining agreement, these first and second aprons, you guys are going to see as the years go by, it's going to be very different to the way the trades are done. The NBA sees what's going on. Players are just taking max contracts and requesting trades. They're not going into the open market anymore. So the NBA is trying to fix that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe as we continue our push for 7,000 subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said.